Tesla sat flat today, and even though we have sold off so much in the past couple of weeks, the fact that we are holding this $240 support level, and more importantly, selling pressure is leaving and buying pressure is coming in, this is a good sign for a short-term bounce in the coming weeks, at least up to $300. So let's go over today's update and talk about how the session ended. Now, you will see, looking at Tesla's price action, that obviously we've been falling off of a cliff. One of the most important things that we focus here in this community is, number one, market structure. You will see that we are still trading within a bullish structure. We're very close to actually taking that previous low out, but as of now, this is still structure. The second most important thing after structure is buying pressure. What we want to do is trade the same exact direction as the market, but we want to be making sure that we are actually following the participants in the market who have the money to bid the stock up. The way that I do this is by using either the BX trender, which we teach in our courses, or the THT trenders, which I'm moving towards now. You will see, starting with this weekly trender, that when the histogram bars are above this SMA, that the stock is within an expansion. So you can see basically from Thursday, the 24th of October, up until Friday, November 29th, we could have been long 36 days for a 39% return. From there, we would have had about 1 week where price compressed sideways, and then we had an expansion and closed above the SMA once again, where we could have had about another 17 to 18% profit. Now, the same thing is said when buying pressure pulls itself from the stock. For those of you who know, I don't normally short anything. We could have made a lot of money shorting Tesla, and we could have made a lot of money shorting Nvidia, but in most cases, I'm not going to do that when structure is still bullish. When structure is bearish, like it was back here through all of 2023 to 2024, I would have shorted each one of these pops. And you can see that using this indicator, we would have done very, very well. But because we're still making higher lows than this previous at 209, I'm still looking to take this long. Now, by following the buying pressure, you could see that we would have exited any long positions at the end of December, and that correlates exactly with when we took this off of our list to go long. If you remember, a lot of people were calling this continued breakout, and we were actually saying price is probably going to pull back to $330. I was not expecting a drop down to $260 so fast, or for $300 to break. That's where I definitely messed up a bit. But you will see that this would have been a perfect time to not be trading Tesla. We did have a fake out where we would have lost money attempting to go long here, about 3 to 4%. But then once that SMA switched on the THT weekly, you can see that price since then, just shorting only shares, could have made about 41%. And so I probably should have been focusing on that and focusing on selling pressure on the weekly, but I was, and this is where I messed up, instead focused too much on trying to time the daily chart, and instead trying to focus too much on trying to time the market bias. And you will even see, going back here to when I took my initial 20% entry for my long dated calls, I was going long when we popped here on the 14th. Now, the reason I was doing that is I was looking at the daily. The daily was showing higher highs and was pushing over that SMA. And so I got in a little bit early because I felt that the risk versus reward was there. And of course, it came to bite me in the ass. And if we look at that time, let's just go ahead and put that candle there. And if you look at that time, the weekly trender was still showing lower lows and never once actually pushed above that SMA. Well, that leads us to where we are right now. If we look at the daily, we have buying pressure. We're currently over that 14 SMA, and this is a sign that buyers are stepping in once again, short term. If this breaks and we continue to sell off, well, then Tesla is going to move to 200, and from there, potentially $180. And there's still a chance for that. I mean, if we look at the weekly, yes, we're still holding, but we're still under. So what we really need to see in the next couple of weeks is for buying pressure to come in on the weekly, to flip that over the 14 SMA. And if we can get that and begin to see a push over it, that could be our indication that Tesla's bottom is in for at least the next month or so. That would give us the pushback up to 280, maybe even $300 max before another potential rejection. If you want access to all of our indicators and learn our step-by-step trading system while it's still free, go ahead and check out our courses. The link will be down in the description. I highly recommend starting with the Elite Traders Playbook so that you can understand buy and sell pressure, then move to the Smart Money Mastery course, which will teach you market structure.